So we're taking a look at a fruit in this video, the tamarind. We're actually going to be doing a taste test, and this is a weird fruit. Let's go ahead and talk about it. If you're not familiar with the tamarind, this is actually a bean. And yes, technically beans, or at least the bean pods themselves, are fruit. I know we don't typically treat them that way here in the US, but tamarinds are a bit special because although they are fruit, they're treated like fruit. They're not really treated like vegetables. First off, they're in a very, very hard shell here, though it is easy to get into at the very least, but it's very different from other beans, which you might be able to just kind of like bend and snap open. On top of that, you've probably had this before. Maybe not on its own per se, especially here in the US, where it's not the most common thing in the world, but it is used in a lot of sauces, a lot of condiments as a flavoring, because it is quite a flavorful fruit. It is a good fruit. There are also different varieties of this, sometimes sour, sometimes sweet, but they are all of the same species, if I have my information correct. This one is a sweet variety here. I actually filmed this video already, so I have one of these cracked open for you, and I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what that looks like, because it is a little bit of a weird fruit. When you crack into it on the inside here, and in fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you with one of the smaller ones here as well. I don't want to open too many of these. I don't want to commit to eating all of this all at once here. They can be quite small as well, and they're a little weird looking. But when you crack into it, something to note is it's fairly easy to actually break that outer shell, very similar to like an eggshell in that way. However, there are these strands that kind of run all the way through the fruit, all the way through the pod that are attached. And so as I pull these apart, those strands are being kind of left behind, these fibers. It's a very fibrous fruit. That's definitely one thing to be concerned. I shouldn't say concerned, but it means that there's a little bit of effort that goes into this. It's not like an apple where you can just take it, wash it, and eat it, right? So we've pulled a lot of that fiber out. There's still going to be some fiber in this as well. And of course, opening this one will be a little bit harder because I don't have much to grab onto, but I can try to squeeze it. Yeah, just squeeze it. That works. And yeah, so the shell is thin. Yeah, egg-like. That's all I can suggest. It's not as sharp as an egg, thankfully. And the fruit, once we actually get inside of there, is also a little suggestive looking, a little weird looking. It might not look like the most appetizing thing in the world, because yes, it is brown, not the greatest color for fruit, but that is how you want it. And the smell right off the bat is good. It smells like a mild molasses. And that's actually really the best thing I can suggest. A little honey-like, a little molasses-like. And in terms of the flavor, get in there. It tastes kind of like that too. Now, it's milder than like if you just took straight molasses or blackstrap molasses, and it's milder than honey, but it tastes a lot like a raisin. So if you've ever had raisins, grape raisins specifically, then you may know they have, again, that very molassesy, like sweet flavor, but they also have a little bit of a brightness to them, a little bit of a zing at the end of them. I'm taking a little bit of inspiration here from Weird Explorer, which is a channel over on YouTube I'd recommend if you like plants, if you like fruit specifically. And they have a little scale, so I'm just going to steal that. It's mine now. And I wanted to say how sweet this is. It is very sweet, but it's not as sweet as you'd probably expect. Again, at least the ones I have are fairly tame in their flavor overall. However, I'd probably say it's still sweeter than like an apple, if an apple's like right there in the middle of the road, and a sugar cube is as sweet as you can get, just about. So I want to say on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10's a sugar cube, this is probably like a 7. I could throw that around, but I would say a 7. It's pretty sweet. It definitely makes your teeth tingle if you have sensitive teeth. And then in terms of the brightness, as I mentioned, there are sour varieties of this as well. In this case here, it's not sour, but it is notable. And I like that. It goes with the that, molasses-like flavor very well. So it ends up tasting, like I said, a lot like a raisin. I really want to say on a scale of 1 to 10 sourness, where 10 is a lemon, it's like a 1. It's not sour, but you know that something is there, and it's delicious in that way. Now, this is a fruit where I think it's mostly common to use it in other situations, not really eat it on its own, not because it can't be eaten, but because it's a bit of processing. It's a bit of work to get in there to get at the fruit. And at that point, if you've done all that processing, why not throw it in something, either to enhance its flavor or to enhance the flavor of the thing you're making, So making desserts with it, making sauces with it, condiments with it, etc., and using it for savory purposes as well. All of that is definitely doable. However, Just note that this brown pulp is wrapped around a seed, and that seed is inedible as far as I am aware. That seed is also inside of a little case here too. I can actually feel it rattling around there, which is kind of fun. And the case is kind of woody. So you don't really eat the tamarind so much as you like pop it in your mouth, suck off all the pulp around that inner pod, whatever that's called, and then you just spit it out, you know, get rid of the rest of it, and you enjoy the sweet part. You enjoy the fruits of your labor, literally. That said, it is a messy fruit, so although it doesn't look like it on my hands here, there's a little bit of tamarind on there as well, so I have a little tissue over here to wipe my hands off on. The last video I did actually did this with gloves, not because there's anything to worry about, but it is a messy fruit in general. Would I recommend trying it? Absolutely. I think this is a fruit that you would like, but again, it's a little bit of effort. Just like, you know, dedicating some time to a orange or something like that. You got to go through some effort. You can't just eat the orange right out of hand, at least not with the rind on. Maybe you could. I don't know. I've tried it. Anyway, with all that being said, more of these videos are definitely on the way, and the next fruits that we'll be taking a look at are a lot easier to prepare than this one is. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for those. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because it does really help this channel out, and it tells YouTube you want to see more content like this. Also, you can join the conversation down in the comments below, or check out the Discord, Instagram, or Patreon if you want to support the channel and get some perks and maybe have your name mentioned in future videos. And that'll all be linked down in the description. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.